Good morning, Suzanne Joy.
Good morning, Deborah, LeeAnn.
Let's talk about pride and artfulness and invisibility, shall we?
Yes, we're talking about Gene Key 26, and this is this week's energy written by Richard Rudd. And yeah, pride, that's that very shadow human nature stuff. And sometimes it shows up as very manipulative, that's the repressed nature. And sometimes it shows up very boastful, and that is uh, the what do you call it? The
The reactive, right?
reactive nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to me. I'm thinking of somebody who's got this key in a primary space in his profile. And so I've been really playing around with noticing when and where and how I've seen all of these. The shadow, the gift, and the city all show up in him. Um, the thing that is fascinating to me is that, um, like that, get having to make a deal, like getting things at a bargain. It's it's a little it's in some ways it's nice, but then when it goes into the direction of frugality and the fear of not having enough, and if I just keep, you know, gathering and it's all on this beautiful spectrum of I want to save the world from putting too much in the landfill, you know? How do we, I mean, like I can see the bigger picture, but then I can also see how it has taken over in a way that is when he's operating from shadow, it is hurtful to him, to all of us, you know, to the world. And I think that was even said in there that when you do something, it tends to be a collective uh, manipulation. It may be a self manipulation, but it ends up rippling out to others. I want to play with that a little bit because I feel like very often we act like, oh, I'm doing this for da da da, and there's an ulterior motive, is what I want to point out. Does that make sense?
Well, when you're projecting that image of confident success and like you know better, you're setting yourself above other people as if they were incompetent. And so you do it by sheer force of will, right? It's very willful. And there's that guilt and shame that might be associated. That's the repressed manipulative nature
Yeah,
to
so
it.
I can see both of them
Yeah.
at the same time. So, and then there's something so beautiful when it comes from artfulness. Like
Right.
when something needs to be repaired or this is he's like, "Oh, I have another one of those." And then and there's my new my garbage disposal is all fixed. And I'm
Well,
like,
that's when it's like coming from heart center and it's giving in service and philanthropy and not self.
"Yeah." So I want to play with, I mean, I'm speaking about a specific person because that's in my mind, and it's easy for me to see this in action in a loved one. And I also want to find where is that in me, right? Where do I do that?
Mhm.
Where do I play that uh, game of wanting to? I mean, Suzanne and I talk about this sometimes. Like, we wanted to create this video where we're next to each other, and but why? Is that for us or is that for you? You know, those that are listening. And so I'm really playing with how much of this is pride for us, or is it because we want a better experience for others? I don't know. I'm trying to see if I can internalize this key so I can get to the space of invisibility and artfulness. Have you looked at it in a personal way for yourself? I mean, very often these
Mhm.
keys, I can feel it in me, I can find it in me. This one, I'm not so, maybe I don't want to find it in me.
Well, it's interesting because I really felt into that. And there have been times in my life where I've been super prideful. And now I'm really tuning back into my heart. And when I feel called to do something, I do it and I want to do it fully, right? And one of the things that is about artfulness is that you can't try to repress that urge to show up and be of service. But it's interesting. He says in this particular case, you are putting yourself in the limelight, and because you need others to find you and to be seen. And that is not in an ego state. That is more in from your heart, and like that whole thing of hiding your light under a bushel. That's not going to freaking help anyone either.
No, I
So
get that, and I do. So I'm just trying to
you
figure
get,
out, looking
yeah,
at motivation
right.
of
So
why
it's
I
coming
put
from
something. Yeah, okay,
a heart center, and you're living your heart or your art outward. And that's the artfulness of it. It's
okay.
living, selling love. It's and to be
It's
in the
sharing love.
enjoyment and
It's
yeah,
sharing love. It's
sharing love.
radiating,
And it's
emanating,
to
transmitting. Yeah, that's a different form of course, we transmit ugliness too. So, and I think that's why a lot of social media is so distasteful to me now because I can feel the energy of the person's marketing plan, coming at me, and I'm like, "Bleh." So I think our sensitivities to what our radar to what isn't heart based
right.
is what um, keeps some of us from showing up because I'm like, I don't want to look like that person. I don't want to sound like that person. I don't want that um, loudness of their marketing message to come through. So I know I'm getting this muddied up a little bit, but I want to help us see where each of us have pride, where each of us can use it in an artful way. And then, oh my God, invisibility. Like that is just being in service and nobody even needs to know that you were there, that you did that. Like, do you remember what was that movie about? Random acts of kindness kinds of things, where you do something and then you run around the corner and let the person open their door and see the gift or whatever. And I thought, that's so fun, the Secret Santa kind of thing. I'm just like trying to figure out how can I play in that playground this winter, you know?
Right. Right. And that's I love, and I also love about the invisibility. It is about God at play, and it's about being in that nurturing playfulness and being alive and letting go of any agenda of what you think you need to do or what you think you need to be or and at that point with invisibility you don't care. You don't care what others project on you. You
Hmm.
are just embodying you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can laugh at yourself because I mean this whole thing is about sacred trickster. It's like it's a whole game, you know?
Well, see, I think of manipulation as being so evil, but there is that way of creating something where you are hidden and it's not manipulative. It's not like,
Okay, well, this is a perfect example. Do you feel that when you listen to music, you're being manipulated?
no.
But you are.
Right, right. I get it. I mean, there is an influence that's coming forward, but it feels like it's creative and loving, and um, it's not wanting me to be different, except for maybe a higher vibration. So there's a,
Well, I mean, and in music, if you study music and you study movies, for instance, they play very specific music for very specific scenes. Do you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Good. Yeah, yeah.
it is manipulating your emotional path. Because if you play the movie with no sound, you won't have the same effect as if you
No.
listen to it.
The
So,
emotions, our emotion, and that's what's so funny is there's all of those unseen physical somatic responses to the
right.
energy that we're just now, well, maybe not just now for those of us who have been working on this for a long time, but we're so much more aware than we were.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking 10 years ago when I first did my first, YouTube stuff in 2000, whatever, 14. I mean, it is so funny to me because I was so self-conscious, and where that didn't matter at all. It doesn't now, it doesn't matter.
Well, and
So,
I think this key is all about it is about relaxing into your essence, so to speak. This physiology of this key is all about the thymus gland. And it is when you look at it, it's like your higher heart. It's like it's your what do you call it? Your immunity system
oh,
connected to it.
oh, interesting. Um, because I feel like that is how we either fight off germs coming our way, or we are stronger in our ability to not be influenced by someone's COVID that they just breathed on us. So in
It's
that, I like to even imagine it that way.
well, and your thymus was typically, I think from what I understand, used when you were developing your T cells in childhood, and it would protect your body from infections. But like on a spiritual note, it's a part of your higher heart, and
Mm,
it's your kind of like tuning fork that harmonizes your own field. And you know, you when you feel it, you often feel just an ease in your chest.
got it.
I didn't look to see where it is on the human design chart, but I suspect that it's probably in that G center.
Um, I just saw that. Hold on one second, and I can tell you. Human design, integral human design, alchemy, transmission, manipulation, the will of the heart,
Heart. Hmm.
dream of cooperation. Beautiful. Oh, yeah, it's the channel of transmission. Duh. So that's exactly that. Okay, that's fabulous. I want to share the mudra with you,
Okay.
which is interesting to me because I mean, see if you can see the symbolism. I love some of these because they're so symbolic. So you interlace your fingers inside and see if you can get them so that you can touch all the finger pads together of the matching finger on the other hand. And then you touch your thumb together. So it's quite tight,
Hmm.
woven like a basket. And then when everything is touching completely, you, it just is placed in front of your heart. And you can feel the tightness, but then it kind of relax into it. Everything is so connected. And then we're just
Hmm.
naturally breathing out our essence and breathing in others. And it's a sharing and a creative, collaborative, reciprocal, sacred space. That feels so much better.
Yeah, and this part is really sensitive to any kind of stress. So play is so important. It brings us back into emotional regulation, and you can feel yourself again.
I love that. So let's drop in and remember this holiday season is not about how we look at others, how they look at us, if we're doing the right thing and getting all the traditions checked off the boxes, if the house is decorated. It's not about that. It's about our essence. Let's be present as our present to others. So I'm saying that to myself.
That's why we do it.
We do it. Okay. Take good care, everyone. And thank you for being here and shining your light in the world.
Till next time.